Hi, I'm Pat Barnard, Group Managing Editor for TMCnet, reporting to you from IT Expo West in Los Angeles. And joining me is Joe Staples, Chief Marketing Officer for Interactive Intelligence. Hey Joe, how you doing?
Good, Pat, thanks.
Good, welcome back. So I understand you have some big news that you want to share. There's another acquisition in the winds for Interactive. Do you want to talk about that?
Yep.
Okay, great.
So yesterday we announced that we have acquired Latitude Software,
Okay.
which is a very nice, healthy, profitable, fast-growing software company that sells in the application space to debt collection.
Okay, that's great. And obviously that's a growing area, and probably a very good acquisition for you guys, considering that you just recently acquired Acrosoft last year. So this sort of rounds out your expertise in two very important industries right now that are growing tremendously: insurance and collections. Is that right?
Right, and
Yeah.
they really play kind of the same role. We've, for a long time, since the inception of the company, have provided everything at the infrastructure level.
Mm-hmm.
So ACD, IPPBX, call recording, screen recording, etc. But with our acquisition strategy, it's been, instead of adding or looking for other things to bolt on to that infrastructure layer, which some of our competitors do, we moved up into the application layer. Mm-hmm. So with Acrosoft, the acquisition of Acrosoft in May of 2009, it was for the insurance vertical. And now with Latitude Software, it clearly focuses on debt collection. Mm-hmm. But again, nice tight integration with our underlying platform, gives us domain expertise in another vertical,
Right.
gives us an installed base. Latitude comes with about 200 customers.
Okay.
So I think there's some cross-selling opportunities as well.
Okay, great. And where are they based out of?
They're based out of Jacksonville, Florida,
Okay.
about 40 employees.
All right.
Really a nice company, nice reputation in the industry, good understanding of that industry. Both, there are really kind of two sides to it, selling software to debt collection agencies that buy debt and then process and collect on that,
Right.
as well as large enterprise, kind of Fortune 500, Global 1000 companies who do their own accounts receivable management and debt collection. They have products that fit both of those sectors.
Okay, all right, great. Now, when I think of debt collection, and particularly when I think of debt collection solutions, the first thing that comes to mind is outbound IVR. And it's my understanding that they were already using your outbound IVR predictive dialer solution, is that right?
Yeah, we have some customers that have integrated our dialing platform with their solution. And the underlying technology, certainly dialing or predictive dialing, is a real key ingredient in this. And then Latitude delivers all of the workflow components, all of the tracking and management of the debt, as well as integration with the telephony platform to go out and make those calls or make the interactions or communications to hopefully collect on the debt.
Okay, great. So if you could just sort of describe, the different pieces of their software suite. I mean, I think you kind of did, but could you drill down a little bit more and talk about the specific applications that they offer?
Yeah, it's really around, if you look at workflow, there are a number of different components that happen in a debt collection or process or accounts receivable management process.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be able to track what that debt is, how old it is, what the terms of it are. So you need a number of key components, pieces of information.
Right.
And then you have different activities. You may reach out with an email, you may make a phone call, so tracking all of that, and then being able to provide all of the analytics to know the debt that I buy, if I'm an outsourced debt collector, the debt that I buy, which is the most profitable, what methods are the best in making those collections. So this is really kind of an end-to-end application for that debt collection space. Again, providing solutions both to companies that collect their own debt and need to manage that, as well as these outsourced agencies that do that for a living.
Okay, great. Another thing that it brings to mind for me is the whole customer metadata element. I mean, talking about CRM, I know with debt collection agencies, whether they're proactively reaching out to someone or whether or not that person is calling into them to maybe settle a debt, they want to have that customer information screen popped right away on the agent's desktop, don't they? I mean, that's a very important part of the operation. Right?
Yeah. So the screen pop, and then you think of the the efficiencies that can come with predictive dialing on the outbound side. So both from an inbound and outbound side, there's a nice marriage between the infrastructure layer that we provide and then that core application layer that Latitude provides.
Okay, all right, great. And then you already talked about how many employees there are. Are you're gonna maintain the brand for now?
We are.
Okay.
We're gonna go with the brand Latitude Software, an interactive intelligence company.
Uh-huh.
And the primary reason for that is if you go into that, which is a very specialized vertical market for accounts receivable management, debt collection. It goes by a number of different terms.
Mm-hmm.
Latitude has a great brand recognition. So instead of losing that or kind of breaking a positive there, we're going to continue to leverage that.
Okay, great. Now, I know you guys already sort of played into this space previously, did you not?
We did.
Okay, so what percentage of your current customer base would you say is represented by this segment?
I don't know about a specific percentage, but if you lined up probably our top 4 verticals, accounts receivable management is one of those top 4.
Okay.
We already had a dedicated overlay resource that focused on it that came out of that industry.
Right.
So it's been one that we've been successful with, mainly through the economic downturn. There was a lot of opportunities in that space. Our underlying product played well with that, and so it's something we focused on. But this really takes it kind of to a new level for us. It gives us, a core set of people that live and breathe and eat and drink that industry. They understand the language. They know what the customers are looking for. Another interesting factor is we'll continue to sell the Latitude application suite on top of other infrastructures, on top of other dialing platforms.
Right.
Same with us. We'll continue to sell our dialer running in conjunction with other accounts receivable management software.
Right.
I mean, we live in this open world, and we're not going to try and change that.
Right, right. And part of the basis for that previous question, by the way, is you guys are already intimately familiar with this market. You've already operated in it. It's not a scenario where this is something new to you and you're
Correct.
just trying to break into a new market.
Right.
It's something that you've already been playing in. This just strengthens your position in that particular market, right?
Exactly. Yep.
Okay, great. Anything else to say in terms of any assets or anything else that you're acquiring through this acquisition?
Probably the biggest, and I touched on it a little bit, the biggest intangible asset is the domain expertise.
Right.
The connections that the people at Latitude have inside of the industry. They held a very successful user conference in August, and I attended it. It was nice to see the kind of the ecosphere of companies that they've built around their technology and the way that they connect with their customers.
Okay, great. Now, you guys have already seen some pretty strong growth since the acquisition of Acrosoft in the insurance space. Do you have similar expectations for debt collection moving forward? Now, as
we do, and the nice thing is, Latitude comes as a fast grower. So, as Interactive Intelligence, prior to this acquisition, we had grown 18% year over year for the first 6 months of 2010, which is nice, healthy growth.
Right.
Latitude growth percentage is actually higher than that.
Okay.
So we think that it's going to benefit the overall company that way as well.
That's great. Sounds like it was a good choice, a good,
Thanks.
Strong company to invest in. So
Yep.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
We've been talking to Joe Staples, Chief Marketing Officer for Interactive Intelligence, about the company's recent acquisition of Latitude Software. And we're coming to you from IT Expo West in Los Angeles. Thanks, Joe. Thanks very much for joining us today.
Thank you.